Hey everybody, in this video I'm rolling with David. He's been training for about 4 years. He weighs about 220, so he's got like 80 pounds on me. I really enjoy rolling with him because even though he's really strong, he really respects the game and he knows that he shouldn't just go as hard as he can, and he's really trying to learn every time. As he goes to mount me, I want you to notice two things. The first thing is that my right elbow immediately went and checked under his left leg. I'm going to constantly monitor his weight, and as soon as that knee gets light, I'm going to dig under it, and that way I'll escape the mount. And the second thing you need to notice is something that helps me to get his knee light, which is my left wrist. I am leaning under his armpit towards the wall. This means that I'm keeping him away from his knee, so he cannot be both mounting me really well with his upper body and stay heavy on his knee. It's just two points that are too far away from each other. And the result is that as soon as he faces me, his knee gets light and I'm able to dig under it and recover my guard. Right now, he digs in for an attack of my right arm, and I'm practically doing the same thing on his other side. I'm waiting for this other knee to get light, and I dig under it, and then I stick to his hip. He then carries me away with it, and I'm able to maintain a good top control. To maintain control, I'm trying to get a good hold of his hip, and I'm going to try to really go across his spine with my head. Right now, nothing too exciting is happening. I'm just maintaining my balance, trying to dig under his chin to make it uncomfortable and get a little bit of shoulder pressure going on his head. And for your viewing pleasure, I am dragging him to the middle of the frame. From now on, I'm just gonna keep my balance, and in a second, I'm gonna ride one of his bridges into a mount. It's gonna happen pretty soon. And from this point, I'm doing something very important that helps me keep the mount. He wants to get his hands on my hips. If he gets his hands on my hips, he'll be able to push me away. So I'm being heavy on his left arm, and I'm just pulling on his right arm. I'm not pulling hard, I'm just trying to divert his hands from my hips. Right now, I was able to get under his elbow, and this is going to be a very standard setup for an arm triangle. I have a good bite on his arm and head, and now you need to notice my left hand. I'm gonna dig really deep. You're gonna see my left hand just kind of like jiggling and wiggling inside because every inch counts here. The tighter you get this, the easier it's gonna be to choke. And there's the tap. I wanted you to take another look at what I was talking about before with the mount. So I have a mount on him and he's trying to get his hands connected and have a good connection to my hips. I'm constantly trying to just divert his hands away from my hips. I'll put my weight on one of them and I'll pull another one, but what can I say? I can't always do it, and at this point he was able to do it, and that's how easy it is for a big guy to throw a small guy off. Now he goes to attack my arm. He's going to try to get an arm drag or an arm bar, and the way I defend this is two things. So one thing is I'm going to lean into my elbow. You can see like right here my elbow is heavy, and it's heavy because I connected to my hip. I know it's a little bit of a vague thing to understand if you don't know what I'm talking about, but you can just kind of like try to watch it again and see what happens. I'll probably do a video about this sometime in the future. And the second thing is I definitely try to get across on him all the time, see my head peeking to the other side. And now as he throws my hips to the other side, I correct with my head and I still have a cross. He tries to wiggle away, but I have a good enough connection that I can take his back. Now a little bit of back defense. Notice my right elbow leaning on his right leg, so he has a hard time throwing that leg over. He now tries to get control over my arm, and just by relaxing my arm, I'm able to slip away all the time. Now I do the step over that I really like to get his leg, and I lean with my armpit on his head. This puts a lot of weight on him, and it gives me a really good chance for the guillotine. Now I thought he tapped, and he said no, he didn't tap, and he asked me to get back to the position, and it was pretty much already there. So we keep going. He tries to cartwheel over me. He kind of overdid it, and I'm still able to get it, and there's the tap. And thanks again to David for being an awesome training partner.